Howdy, 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 happy Monday. It is Monday. Monday. We all love Mondays. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages? Welcome to another Plus One Daily. My name is John Olson. Honored, grateful, thankful that you have decided to spend a few minutes with me to start off your week. What's going on, Henrik? You know, to start it off on the right foot. And it's always fun to talk about this topic. I always enjoy talking about this topic because it's the one that we all seem to run away from. It's the one that we all seem to hide from, to avoid like the plague, to look the other way when it comes and rears its ugly head, and that is change. It's the one thing. It's fascinating to me thinking about change and how it's affected me over the years. And how we all, as individuals, as human beings, detest this, and it's true. I mean, if you think about it, like really break it down, we do everything in our power as human beings to avoid it. What's going on, Marlon? Hello, Nick. Think about that. So something that is inevitable, something that we can't really avoid, we try to with all our might. And I truly believe this. I think that this plays a big, significant role in our development as business people, as human beings, members of society, each sharing this voyage and journey that we call life. I think this holds us back because we don't embrace it. We run from it. We're terrified of it. So, as you guys know, I do. A few things each and every day. What's going on, Gary? Hello, Kent. I read my Maxwell stuff, right? Like I have my 3 John Maxwell books that I really enjoy reading, and one of it had to do with change, and it had to do with writing down 3 things that I've had problems with recently. And what are the changes I have made to do better in each of those situations. So a little bit of soul searching. So I'm thinking back and I'm like, generally, I'm a pretty happy dude. I mean, generally speaking, pretty happy dude. Not too depressed at life. And I enjoy what I do for a living. I enjoy my business. I enjoy my company. I enjoy my customers. I don't really have a lot of stuff that I would like to change. But, you know, the exercise was to really write down 3 things. So I wrote down 3 things, and it hit me. It was like running into a brick wall. The 3 things, even though it took me some time to kind of dive into, you know, these 3 things that I should change to better my life, I'm looking at these things, and literally, I haven't done a single thing to change my situation in each one of these things. It's amazing. I have avoided those 3 things, right? Like, one of the things, I'll be honest, totally transparent with you guys. I like being transparent. One of the things is my weight. You know, I would like to lose some pounds. That's one of the things I would like to change in my life. And I'm sitting there and I'm writing this down, and I'm thinking, what have I done to really change that? Over a couple of years ago, I made some healthy life decisions. I stopped, drinking soda. I stopped eating fast food, stopped eating fried food, stuff like that, did a lot of juicing. But generally, the past, let's say 6 months, I haven't really done much. I mean, I go for walks every now and again, but generally, I haven't, changed my habits. So I'm sitting here, weighing the same I did. I'm a few pounds down, but, basically weighing the same I have for the past 6 months. And why is that? Because I haven't changed anything. So it hit me. It's like, holy crap. Here's 3 things that's staring me right in the face. That, dude, if you want to, why don't you change these things? And I haven't done it because it's like I'm scared of it. I avoid it, right? Oh, I'm not gonna. I'll go walk later. I'll go on the treadmill later, right? We're scared of changing what we're doing. We get into these habits where it's just like, man, you run from it. You absolutely run from it. But there was a few things that I could say on this topic, some things that have helped me with change, and hopefully it could help you guys with change. Because here's the thing. Like I said at the start of this, it's inevitable. It's completely inevitable. You can't stop change, right? This is something, a quote my dad said years ago to me. And he said this. Quick little, little backstory on my father. My father was in the auto industry for years and years and years. Really good at it. He was a chartered accountant. Really, really good at it. Was crushing it when it came to the corporate world within the automotive industry. In the late 90s, the early 2000s, took a nosedive. The auto industry changed. Completely changed. He lost his job. He'd been working for years and years and years, and he was fired. And here's this guy, right? He was probably in his 50s then. He's in his 50s. Loved what he did for work, but the change was there, and it was inevitable, and he couldn't stop it. And I remember, and this is why I totally respect my dad and love him to death, because he's a big time entrepreneur, even though he did the corporate stuff. He took that opportunity and said, you know what, I'm going to stop trying to do the corporate thing, and I'm going to go in business for myself. So he got fired, he got laid off from years and years and years of being in one industry, putting all his effort and time, and he said, okay, I'm going to be a consultant. So he started his own consulting business and rode off into the sunset happily ever after. But he told me this quote years ago, and I remember it. He's like, if people don't change because change is uncomfortable. And if you are, and I'm paraphrasing because this is my dad telling me this stuff. He's like, people will never get rich working for someone else. And the biggest thing that they have to do is they have to change their outlook on it. They can't look at it as they're going to a 9-to-5 job. And again, I'm paraphrasing, but this is the message that he was telling me. You've got to go, I'm going to work for myself 9 to 5. I'm going to go and work my butt off so that I can invest in myself, so that I'm not put in a position that when change happens, because it will, I'll be left out to dry. So I'm paraphrasing, but he left me with that message years ago, and it really resonated with me. It's in Hits, Clicks, and Misses. I thank him in it. Yeah, my father, there's something you taught me a few years back that made a difference in my life. You told me that there was no wealth in working for someone else. I finally understand what you said to that. And yeah, so anyways, I digress. He taught me about change and working for myself, and that really resonated because, it's inevitable. It's going to happen. You have to do your part as a business person, as an individual, to be prepared for it. So I wrote down 4 things that could help you guys. It's helped me over the years, and hopefully it can help you. The first thing is be proactive. When the writing's on the wall, it's a little bit too late. If you are an entrepreneur, you should be having your ear to the street. You should be having a pulse on the industry of what's going on, and you should see trends before they happen. So when you're being proactive, you're not being reactive, right? Reaction is when you're like, oh man, dang, this is too late. We got to change. Be proactive about this. If you see something that might not be going exactly how you anticipated, change what you're doing. Get out of your comfort zone a little and be proactive about it. That's really helped me over the years. Again, quick story. When me and Tim first fired up and partnered up and became the start of Tim Tech before we brought Justin in, we saw that social was becoming huge. This is Twitter, Facebook, all this stuff was becoming huge. We said, this is where we need to go. We need to go there. This is where we have to be. So we started TE Live. We started showing up every day. We started getting into Twitter. We started doing blog posts. We started being social and putting chats inside the TEs and just being proactive. We were proactive, so while the rest of the industry took a dive, we stayed the course and we actually grew. And CTP came and so on and so forth. That is the key to being proactive. You need to see this stuff before it happens, and so you're not reactive, you're actually being proactive. The second thing that's really helped me is that knowing that this is normal. Change is normal, and we don't like it. As human beings, it's in our DNA to avoid this stuff. We don't want to be around things that are uncomfortable. We want to be in our little box, our little comfort zone, and we don't want to poke the bear. We don't want to step out of it. You got to tell yourself that's normal. Oh, I'm scared of change. We're all scared of change. Oh, I think I might fail. We all think we're going to fail at one time or another. It's okay. You got to tell yourself, oh, exactly, Kent, you don't want to be held accountable, right? But you got to tell yourself it's normal. Know that it's normal to feel this way. Know that it's normal that the rest of your teams, the people you work with, they fear change as well. When you know it's normal, you can approach it a little bit differently. You're not abnormal. You're not weird if you don't like change. We all don't like change. Something else that really helped me, this is the third thing, is to look at my past successes. When you look at your past successes, you know that your future can be bright. So this is the time when you go, oh, I know I need to change something, but I really don't know if I should step out of my comfort zone. Then you look back and you go, you know what? I remember 5 years ago when I stepped out of my comfort zone and this happened. This successful thing happened. I try to do that. I try to push people out of their comfort zone when it comes to getting behind a video camera because I know how important video is in 2016. It's not up for debate. It's a must. You need to be behind the video camera in 2016. And I tell people, you know, what was that first success that you had with it? Was it when you realized that people encouraged you instead of made fun of you? Was it when people thumbed up your video instead of thumbing it down? Was it when they left a comment? Look at those past successes, those past wins, and ride the wave of that. That's really, really important. Again, when I got started online, failed for years and years and years. I mean, I basically 5 years. The first 5 years of my career were utter failures, was just an absolute failure. But then there was a success. And the success formula for me was showing up every day, getting out of my comfort zone, and doing the little things each and every day that became habit forming that grew my business. So I remembered that's past successes, even though I had all those failures before, when I stayed the course, when I did the little things, when I did this stuff sticking out in front of people each and every day, that's what worked. So remember past successes when you're dealing with change, and you know it'll be a lot easier to do. And the final thing is to work today. Listen, the future is never promised, right? I mean, this is the truth of it. You know there's three things. You know, is death and taxes. The other thing is change, guaranteed to the human race. You're going to have death, you're going to have taxes, and there's going to be change in it. The future is never promised. You don't know what the future brings. So if you're sitting there stressed out about what if, what's going to be, you know, it's going to drive you nuts. It's really, really important that when you're dealing with change and you're in a situation where you have to change, you work today. You work in the present. You're grateful for today. You're grateful for the fact that you're alive and breathing and you can work in the environment. You don't have to stress out about the things that other people around the world have to stress over. You look at you work in today. You're being present. You're working about and you're worried about right now. You're not worried about tomorrow. You're not worried about a year from now. You work now. You put all your energy and effort into what you're doing right now. You won't have time to stress out about the rest. So being present, to me, is really, really important when you're dealing with change. There's a whole lot of what ifs. The situations can be, you know, anything can happen. And if you do these things, if you're being proactive, if you're knowing that it's normal, that you're going to be stressed out, when you're worried about when you're looking at your past successes and you're focused on right now, you'll be able to deal with change as good as anybody can. So listen, embrace it. Embrace the fact that, you know, it's a human trait. We are all scared of it. We dread it. It's something we want to get away from it as soon as we can. But the more that you embrace it, the more that you work with it and you're proactive about it, you'll be able to deal with change. It's not the end of your business. It's not the end of your career. There's always tomorrow. So listen, few things before we close up. Brand new book review. I did a book review and I'll be giving away a copy of it as well this week. Be sure to tweet it out. Living Forward by Michael Hyatt and Daniel Harkavy. Really, really cool book. I did a review. You can read it on Plus One Daily. As well, I'll be giving away a copy of this later this week, so be sure to tweet out the blog post. I gotta put a reminder on the blog post to do that. Yeah, the answer is 42. Definitely Boris. Also, Season 8 CTB Teams starts a week from today. I will give you guys all the inside scoop this week on a blog post on CTB Teams. But I put out some promos today showing, putting the date out, doing a video, putting it out there, letting people know that Monday it starts. Other than that, go out there, be proactive. Be proactive when it comes to this stuff. Don't look at, don't worry so much about what's going to happen tomorrow, the next day, or 6 years down the road. Worry about today, work on today, be present, and enjoy it. We live in a fantastic world, fantastic society, and we are allowed to do this this business for a career. It's crazy when you think about it. We can sit behind the computer. We can put our passions onto screens. We can put passions onto blog posts, passions into video, and we can make a living from this. So we truly are blessed, and I am very grateful that you guys, again, are hanging out with me. So thank you guys for coming and rocking with me. Have a fantastic start to the week. If you need anything, I'm always around. John Olson on Skype if you need me, or at the TE Guy on Twitter. Drop me a line, say hi, and be sure to share Plus One Daily with your friends, colleagues, networks, and I will see you guys on Wednesday or tomorrow at TE Live if you're around. Toodles for now. Thanks for coming. Remember, embrace the change. Doodles.